I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
And I hate my answer because my answer is always, well, it depends.
Yeah.
And here's what it depends on. So putting, let's say you have a $10,000 budget. You could put all 10,000 towards search marketing, right? On paid search. And you can spend all of that and you can translate that into, all the business you need.
Right.
Or you could take a piece of that and you can apply it somewhere else. So after a few rounds of having this discussion with a partner, we're always encouraging them, like, we want to have some diversity in your program, because you don't want to spend aggressively and have to be dependent on being aggressive, because as soon as there's a hiccup or you've got a cash flow issue, then all of a sudden, that aggressive strategy has to, be reduced, and now you're going to feel it in your call center.
Right.
So what could we be doing as an investment in the long term, or going up funnel?
Yeah.
And so, the conversation will go, well, yeah, why don't we add $2,000 to our budget? So let's make it 12,000. Let's put 2,000 towards YouTube, and we'll brand, and we'll have a strategy, and then we'll get around to it. And I'll ask the question, hey, would you rather put that $2,000 into getting leads now? And if they go yes, I'll say, okay, well, you're not going to be happy with what you're going to get from YouTube right now.
Right.
It sounds like you still want you want more leads.
Right.
And so that is very that is up to that individual.
Yeah.
Right. So I can come to you with, hey, here's the mix. Here's what I think you should do.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we've got to meet your needs and your interests. And if you can squeeze out more calls now, then let's do it. But at some point, we've got to be comfortable saying, okay, I'm going to siphon off a piece of this budget, put it in a YouTube strategy or a video strategy of some sort. And my recommendation is, let's do this at the beginning of the year. Let's put it in your budget. Right. Let's make a plan.
I like it.
Because if we try to throw this on top, you probably won't be. $2,000 over here does not equal $2,000 over here.
Right.
Now, but in that
an immediate need.
Yeah.
Yes.
An immediate need. But if we're tapped out, we can't spend, which happens sometimes with these bigger companies. And the only reason you can't spend it is because now that cost just gets way out of whack, and we're not interested in that. And we make a decision together to, okay, we're going to not spend over this. Then yeah, of course, you got more money. Let's invest in this tactic, so you can start building your brand name. But down here, who we usually work with, the $10 million contractor, every dollar matters greatly.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a certain revenue threshold, at least per certain trades, when you're like, okay, it's time to invest in the YouTube?
Yeah.
That branding or the demand creation, I forget what you called it exactly. Yeah. Is there a certain revenue threshold that you recommend it? Or is it just kind of, again, per market?
I think in this case, it's just per business. But I like to start thinking about it, after you're spending around $10,000 a month on paid search. I think everyone should be spending about that. Now, there's a guy right now, 2-truck operation, that's maybe watching this going, are you kidding me?
Right.
$10,000? Yeah, you're only going to spend that if it's working.
Yeah.
I would never just throw that money against the wall.
Right.
But I think everyone, I think $10,000 is a solid starting point.
Yeah.
Now, we have some partners that are spending $100,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine that,
right.
You're just starting out. But by that point, you certainly should be investing in, going up funnel, investing in other tactics in the search, or at this point, it's not just search, it's now digital marketing. We're zooming out. And maybe we've got something going on YouTube and Facebook and even TikTok these days.